super duper Sunday. All football fans around the world, a game that I know you all are looking up to. Chelsea versus Arsenal. And just so you know, this is the best week as a football fan to be in London. Because if you love football, you should be in London this week. Because this week, London has welcomed Barcelona, has welcomed Bayern Munich. London is also this weekend going to be welcoming all of the big teams in the Premier League, aside Manchester City. London is welcoming Manchester United, welcoming Liverpool, and you're going to watch Chelsea versus Arsenal play in this same London. So it's going to be a packed up Sunday, and those games are set out to happen on Sunday, with the game starting with Manchester United and then progressing to the next fixture, which is Liverpool versus West Ham in London Stadium, and the game of the day, Chelsea versus Arsenal, the derby. However, this fixture has not been fierce in the most recent years, or let's say in the last 5 years. It's not been fierce because anytime Chelsea and Arsenal has matched up against each other, it has always been for no serious outcome. If either win, or if there's a win from any team or there's a draw, it doesn't actually lead to anything. So there's been, the game in itself has no substance in it. But this time around, and the last time it had substance was in the FA Cup. However, that game was a game that Chelsea should have won, but the referee had a role to play in the game that stopped Chelsea from winning, and obviously we did not even fight like we do as Chelsea Football Club anytime we want to play finals. We did not fight enough to win that game. I believe if we actually want to win that game with a man down, we could actually do it, because we had the players there, and Arsenal were nobody to us at the time. And prior to that, it was Baku, where Arsenal thought they could win, and we smashed them 4-1. But this time around, this game has just as much substance in that final game that we played against Arsenal at Baku. Just like this one now. It has just as much substance like this one. And this time around, it is due to both fans thinking they can actually win. Chelsea fans, many of us, confident that we could get a result from this game, and Arsenal fans to have so much confidence that they could get a result from this game. But let's have a chat about every detail of this game and what I think is going to happen. So looking at Chelsea and the way they've come about this season, obviously there's an opinion from so many people that we've been inconsistent, but inconsistency has led us to being second position on the log and being in a good place in the Champions League, despite Maresca toiling with the team to an extent, chop and change, centre back, no fixated first choice centre back pairings, and obviously that is going to affect the team as a whole. And we have players that have been injured and some being tested. We brought new players in that are still being tested in certain positions, so yes, that instability has been there. But the fact that we are where we are now is actually surprising, because we shouldn't be where we are with what we have done so far this season. So that in itself is very, very positive if you dip into it. But now we've played Barcelona, we've played some games that we are able to extract confidence from. The win against Liverpool, Barcelona, the clinch, not just beating Barcelona, keeping clean sheet, despite everybody talking about Lamine Yamal and Barcelona this and that. But they came to Stamford Bridge and they saw football, and they realized that they are still far behind. And that's what Chelsea does to teams like this, because when we are in our game, when we are in our mojo, we always produce results. We always, or let's say, oftentimes we produce results. And I believe this is going to be the case on Sunday. Only few pundits are giving Chelsea the chance against Arsenal. However, if I was a pundit too, I would have believed that Arsenal are the one that are going to edge this game. And I still believe Arsenal have the edge in this game, because of, obviously, you could see their form. They hardly concede goals. They have been a good team. Arteta has drilled them well. Arteta has done a very, very good job for Arsenal in the past years. And you could see where they are now is not just something that happened overnight. They started from somewhere, and it's been, I think, 7 years now at Arsenal. And look at where they are now, being second, being runner-up in the last 2 seasons, I guess, or 3 seasons in a row. They were second position, and this season they are looking to be running away with the league. But I love dramas. I love football. This is why I love football, because it brings you dramas, and I do believe that something can actually happen, because the season is still long. That's what people don't know. A lot of can still happen this season, because We are all playing Champions League football. We are playing Premier League football. There's so many things that can still happen this season because from what I can see, we've not even played up to a third of the games in the Premier League so far. We've just played 12 games and it's less than a third. So there's still a long way to go, and it's good to see that so many people are confident that Arsenal are actually the champions. Let's credit them that yes, they've won the league, and if it happened that they don't win the league, you know it's nothing new. It's not a new story. So it's something that has happened over and over again, and we know Arsenal are this kind of thing. But Arsenal right now, they built a different mentality. They have great players and players that I really admire in the team, being Declan Rice and Eberechi Eze. When they signed Eze, that was when I knew that, okay, the table have turned, because my prediction was for Liverpool to win the league, but I believe Slot was able to make do of the resources that he had in the previous season and was able to carry Liverpool based on how they have played in the past. But the players that he has brought in were going to change the dimension of how Liverpool operate if they had to play them, but it has impacted them negatively, and Slot has no answers on how to arrest the form that Liverpool had and how they play. I don't know what they are doing in the training. It shows that they did not do due diligence in planning for this season. So, and you could see the result of it. Losing 4-1 to PSG at Anfield is a sackable offence, unacceptable. So, talking about the Chelsea-Arsenal game now, let's look at Chelsea Arsenal man to man. I still believe Chelsea has got the edge. I've always said that I love my team. Every other Chelsea fan are always saying our centre backs are this, our centre backs are that. I have never been in the same page as them. The only thing I know that we lack is in the goalkeeping area that I still stand on. However, Sanchez have been able to improve. Sanchez have improved from my own perspective. At least now, he's being allowed to do what he is capable of doing, and that is what we should have allowed Sanchez to do from the get-go. Not playing out of the back, not putting him under so much pressure that Maresca insisted that if he stops doing that he's going to drop him. And that affected him so much, so badly. He knows how to make saves. He's a good goalie. He makes good saves, and he's tall. He knows how to pick the ball in the air, especially when we are in the danger of facing set pieces. And this is one of the strengths of Arsenal Football Club, playing set piece. And I believe Sanchez will be able to reduce the pressure when we are going to face any set piece from Arsenal. That is if they are going to even have a lot of them. Because I believe this game, if I'm playing with what I expect from this game, I expect a 1-1 draw. A draw. And I believe there's going to be goals. Arsenal will concede at Stamford Bridge. Certainly. Chelsea are likely to concede. So I believe it's going to be a 1-1 game. But what I knew was going to swing the result is one player. And that's Cole Palmer. And now, from the press conference, we've been told that Cole Palmer is fit to play against Arsenal. And I believe Cole Palmer was fit to play against Barcelona, because I really do doubt that story about him fracturing his toe. They just wanted to rest Cole Palmer for Barcelona, against Barcelona, because they knew we are going to do the damage against Barcelona without Cole Palmer, and bring him up to play Arsenal. And this is the best time to give such news that Cole Palmer will be playing, because I'm sure he's going to rattle Arteta to an extent. He's going to give him some headache. If Cole Palmer starts, what are we going to do? Because now you have to face Cole Palmer, you have to face an informed Estevao, and you have to face the gladiator himself, Caicedo. Now, coming back to what I wanted to talk about, which is man-to-man Arsenal. I've seen a lot of people combine exile between Arsenal and Chelsea. And to me, what I see is totally different. And I'm going to base my own from two things. Form that they've had this season, or looking at just the ability of the player without looking at their current form this season, their present form. So we'll be looking at those two things to be able to conclude on the combined exile. From my own perspective, starting with the goalie. First choice, obviously, I give it to Raya. However, Sanchez has improved. He's in a good form right now. And in recent games, he's been a better goalkeeper than Raya. But Raya overall has been fantastic for us now. So Raya is going to be in goal. And from the centre-back perspective, based on players that are available now and not looking at form, I'm going to give it to Saliba and Fofana. But I've seen other people say Chalobah. Chalobah, that is when you're obviously looking at form, because Chalobah has built his form for a long stretch. Fofana has just come into the team, but Fofana is obviously the better centre-back than Chalobah. So if I go with who is better, I give it to Chalobah and Saliba, and that's what I'm going to stick with. Looking at who is the better player in eliminating form. That's why I chose Raya to be in goal, and Saliba obviously all metric, Saliba has to start. So Saliba and Fofana for me at the back. And then my right back, Timber, fantastic player, is good. He's got all the abilities you need. But if I put Reece James and Timber here, and I said I want to pick one player, let's say for any club team, any club right now, you're definitely going to pick Reece James ahead of Timber. And if you ask professional players, they will definitely pick Reece James ahead of Timber. There's no way Timber is better than Reece James. There's no way. Reece James has suffered from serious injury, and obviously that's going to affect him mentally. But the moment Reece James is going to can forget that he had all of these injuries, you're going to see a different beast. You're going to see a different beast, because when we talk about the absolute footballer, there's no way Timber is on the same level as Reece James. So Reece James is going to be my right back. But if we look at form, obviously Timber has built form and he's shown class for some period now, going into this season from last season, and he's a very, very good right back. He's a good player overall, and he's a player that also can play so many positions too as well. So I give him, he's a good player, but Reece James is just different. He's just a different beast in itself. Because if you look at England, let's say England have both Reece James and Timber, who are they going to pick? Who is going to be the first choice? Obviously it's going to be Reece James. Even in the Dutch team, if you have Reece James and Timber and you want to pick somebody to play right back, who are you going to pick? It will only be stupid for you to pick Timber ahead of Reece James. Reece James is just made for that right back position in itself. So just forget about Timber and just accept it that Reece James is a better player. If you think otherwise, no problem. That's your choice. Reece James, my right back. But if I look at form, like I said, I'll pick Timber. Just like I would have picked Sanchez ahead of Raya. So Raya, Reece James. Fofana, Saliba. If I looked at form, I would have picked Chalobah ahead of Fofana. And obviously, even if I look at the two metrics for my left back, whether form or overall ability, there's no way you can compare any of Arsenal left back to Cucurella. Cucurella is currently one of the top 3 left backs in the world. And my top 3 left back are Cucurella, Nuno Mendes, and Balde of Barcelona. Those are my top 3 left backs. So that's that. Cucurella, I don't think there's any debate for that one. No matter what Calafiori is doing now, ideally, his natural position is a centre-back, but he's just playing the left-back, which is actually laudable. But at the same time, you can still see some disadvantages and in the way that he plays the left-back role. It's just that he's more suited to playing that left-back for Arsenal with the way that Arsenal play and how they are structured. But if you put him in so many other teams, he's just going to be, he might be lost in that left-back position to play the role that they want him to play. Cucurella is going to fit anything, whether you want to play tiki-taka, whether you want to play rugby football, whether you want to, Cucurella does it with ease, and Cucurella can even play centre-back. We've seen that in the past. And Cucurella is a player that has not just played left back, he has played so many other positions as well, and he has excelled there. So I don't think that's a debate in itself. So we've got, for the back line, 3 Chelsea players definitely: Reece James, Saliba, Fofana. If Gabriel was fit, obviously it's going to be Gabriel and Saliba. But we're talking of players that are available now and only looking at their ability and not the form. So we've got 3 Chelsea players in the defense and 1 Arsenal player, and the goalkeeper being Arsenal player. So that's 3-2. So in the midfield, players that are available now, easily, I don't think this should be a no-brainer. It's going to be Caicedo, Declan Rice, and Cole Palmer. Eze is a good player, but he's not in the same level as Cole Palmer. I love Eberechi Eze. I see him as a brother, to be fair, and he's somebody that I would have loved if Chelsea could actually go for him in the market. I would have wanted that, but his age was not in our strategy as a football club. So that's why I just knew that it was definitely not going to be possible. But Eze is a fantastic player, no bias, nothing. And Odegaard has his abilities, but he's not in the level of number 10s that I look up to, or even at 8. A lot of people talk about his physicality and pressing and all of those stuff, but I already have Rice, I already have Caicedo, I already have Rice who is doing that. So we need more. We need him to offer more in the attack than to be doing pressing out of position. But let's say it depends on the team actually and the tactics. It might actually fit certain teams with the way that they want to play. But it's a no-brainer. Everyone is going to choose Cole Palmer ahead of any other player. Odegaard, Eze, or whoever that they want to put. Cole Palmer is there. He's back fit. So Cole Palmer, Caicedo, and Rice. Subimendi is a great player, but there's no way you can get into the X-side, no chance, because we've just got 3 midfielders to fill in. So yeah, Rice, Caicedo, and Cole Palmer. Then going to the right wing, we've got Saka and Esteval. Obviously, overall, I'll pick Saka because I'm not looking at form. Because if I was looking at form, I would have even picked Pedro Neto ahead of Saka. Not to talk of Estevao. Estevao is in a better form right now. Same with Pedro Neto. He's in a better form. In this season, Pedro Neto and Estevao has been better than Saka. But Saka is Saka. So you just have to give it to him. So I give it to Saka. Saka is going to be in my team, certainly. And then going to the right wing. Obviously, Chelsea have not got a right winger. So that's as obvious as it can be. So I'm going to give this one to Trossard. Trossard is not fit. He might not be fit for the game. I don't know. I'm not sure. But if Trossard is fit, then player-wise, okay, I can actually even fit Eze on the left wing. I would prefer Eberechi Eze to Trossard and Martinelli. So far, he's a player that can come from the left and go into the middle. Fantastic. I'll put Eze there, so I'll put Eze ahead of anybody. Eze and Saka on the right. So who is going to be my choice of striker? Obviously, Arsenal don't have a striker. To me, the only person that I see that is an okay striker, because obviously he can manage to play the role to an extent, is Merino, and not even Gyökeres. So my first choice striker in the XR combined 11 is going to be Joao Pedro. Joao Pedro is a better player than all of them. He's a better striker than all of them. So I'm not even looking at form, but I believe now that Cole Palmer is back, and hopefully he can get a run of games playing number 9 and not the 10 like Maresca has been playing him. He can get back to finding his shooting boots again and hitting the target for us, taking shots and not always trying to link up or pass the ball. So yeah, Joao Pedro up top for me. Eze and Saka. So we've got just 5 Arsenal players and 6 Chelsea players. I think that's fair to be. We've got Rice, Eze, Saka, Saliba, and Raya. If Gabriel was fit, obviously they would have edged it against us. So for this week game, it's 6-5 in the combined exile. 6 Chelsea players to 5 Arsenal. That's how I see it. I don't know about you. So now I'm going to predicting the game. Chelsea versus Arsenal. What's going to be my prediction? Now, if I'm looking at the game from a man-to-man perspective, with the way that Maresca plays, I believe right now we are not exactly sure on what lineup is going to put up with, and that is going to be confusing to Arteta too as well. And that is the edge that Chelsea have ahead of Arsenal, because we know how Arsenal are going to line up, but they are not exactly sure how we are going to line up. And now that Cole Palmer has been announced to be fit, it's going to even give them more headache, because except they are complacent, thinking Chelsea, we are going to walk over you guys. Don't worry, all the things that you've been doing in the past is just because you have been playing teams that you can easily beat, that we are a different side. But football is not played this way. Yeah, shock has happened in the season. There are shockers in the season, and this might be one of them. I really do think it can happen. This might be a shocking game, but I'll just stay on what I think is going to happen. But I believe it's a game that can go to either side. But now that Cole Palmer is available, he swings it so much, because they don't really know exactly how to plan against us right now in terms of how they are going to start the game, because the way you start the game is going to actually define the whole lot of things that is going to happen in the game. Because if Chelsea starts really well, it raises their confidence. So yeah, going back to what I'm thinking, okay, man to man, like I said, Fofana is back. He's giving us so much stability at the back line with his aggressiveness, his pace, and all of those stuff. His jump, he knows how to jump out to leap well. So hopefully he stays fit for most part of the season. And we've got Fofana and Chalobah, and then we've got Reece James and Cucurella. But Maresca can use Gusto, I don't know. But if now that Odegaard is back, I don't know if he's going to start. Even whichever way, no one cares. If Odegaard starts, is an advantage for Chelsea. But if Eze plays in that number 10 role and is given a free role, in the previous game that we played against Eze in Crystal Palace at the start of the season, he was facing Reece James at the right back most of the time, and he was able to disturb Reece James so much, because he was on the left, Sarr was on the right, and Mateta, he was the number 9, and he was just dealing with Reece James on the right. Reece James was rusty, I could see in the game. It's like he did not prepare well for the game, and he did not show his class in that first game against Crystal Palace, and Eze dealt with him so much in that game. But this time around, the expectation is that Eze is going to play through the middle, and Eze is going to face a warrior, the gladiator. Bad boy Caicedo. There's no way Eze is getting past Caicedo with ease. He might do it a couple of times, like Lemmy Yamal did to Cucurella, but to what end? To no end, actually. Because Caicedo will always come for you. Even when you go past him, he will come for your life. And if Eze plays that number 10 role, I still see that as an advantage to Chelsea too. Because we have Caicedo back there, and now I really do think now that Cole Palmer is back, Enzo is going to sit deep. So I believe Enzo is going to operate even better and give Caicedo that mobility that he needs to be able to do the box-to-box for us, mount pressure in their own half, and even make some necessary interceptions in our own half. So It's going to be a big game, and it's going to be a game between Caicedo and Declan Rice. Declan Rice looks like you said, he feels the fittest that he has ever been, and Declan Rice is a fantastic player, a great player. He's going to do his bit, but he's going to come against someone who is better in Caicedo, in playing football, all-round football. Caicedo is a much better player. It's as if Caicedo was built for football, He's got every attribute of Rice is also a very good player, but Caicedo is just on a different level right now with the way that he plays. He's on a different level. He's fearless. I don't know how he does his interception, how he makes those tackles cleanly. You think he's rough, but he's so clean. It's like stealth mode. It's like a ghost. He just appears and take the ball off you with ease, and he knows how to even move the ball. He knows how to carry the ball. But Rice does that better, however. But Caicedo also knows how to carry the ball, and he's a danger at the opposition box too, because he's done that a couple of times this season. And he's also a great passer of the ball. That's what so many people underrate Caicedo for, thinking he doesn't know how to make passes. He doesn't know how to open play. He knows how to find some delicate, sweet passes as well. So it's going to be a very good game, and I do believe that our attack with Cole Palmer backing, our attack can be more potent than Arsenal attack, because I don't see Saka getting past Cucurella at any point, because Cucurella has been training against Lamine Yamal and Estevao. These are one of the top 2 most dangerous right winger that we have in the world. Or let me say top 3, because Olisetu is a bad guy. Olise is a bad guy, and Kudus as well. We've got some really good left footers that come from the right that are really, really dangerous and know how to hold the ball. But this is somebody that Cucurella trains with consistently, and that is going to even make him more of a beast. That means we are only going to be seeing a Cucurella that will continuously improve, because Estevao will only get better, and Lamine Yamal can get better too as well. So these are players that you'll be facing every day in training. So the sky is the limit for Cucurella right now. He's going to continue to improve. That means that we've actually not even seen the best of Cucurella. To be fair, Cucurella is going to be like a wall when you meet him. Saka is going to have a horrible time in that game. I can see that already. And Reece James, if Reece James is up for this game, like I see it with what I've been seeing, the training that they've been doing, the focus they've had, the confidence, the smile that I'm seeing in training, Reece James facing any left winger that Arsenal is going to put up is going to be a piece of cake for Reece James. The only part of the pitch that I believe Arsenal are going to seriously dominate is the right side, their right side in their own half, with Timber being there, because I don't see any of our left winger going past Timber right now, because they don't seem to be good enough. But Neto can try once in a while if he plays on the left, if he starts the game and plays on the left with his speed. But Timber has also got, it's not just about speed, it's also about agility. He's got that agility that can help, that can make it seem like he's got that pace too as well to match up with Neto. So I believe it's going to, that's the only place that I give Arsenal the advantage, and their centre-back line too as well. But no Gabriel being in the centre-back. They think Nkapie is good. They think Mosquera is good. They are going to see something different when Cole Palmer arrives at that place. They are going to see something different. Hopefully, Cole Palmer is fit when he arrives in that centre role. And if Dilap starts or Joao Pedro starts, I would have loved Dilap to play this game because of how he can wrestle against centre-back. But right now, he's not been in the best of form, and the injury has led to this, and now we need him to build up his form and match fitness. Joao Pedro didn't play the last game, so hopefully the intention is that he's resting for this game. So yeah, I think that's it, and my prediction for this game is going to be Chelsea 1, Arsenal 1. Cole Palmer availability can swing the results. Don't forget that. And it can be 2-1 to Chelsea. And it can also be 2-1 to Arsenal. But I'll stick with my 1-1 prediction, because I see the result can still go either side, depending on the structure of the both managers put up in the game. So I think that's it for me now. Chelsea, Arsenal, I can't wait for the game. I can't wait to be at the bridge cheering the lads. Carefree. Wherever you may be, we are the famous CFC. Carefree. Wherever you may be, we are the famous CFC. Can't wait for this game, man. I'm just so excited for this game. Big weekend is gonna be. Big weekend is gonna be. And it's Super Chelsea. Super Chelsea FC. We by far the greatest team the world has ever seen. And it's Super Chelsea. Super Chelsea FC. We're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen. Up the Chelsea!